What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 324.2, our recap, and then Elijah Poe's reaction to Sunday's second race of the Iowa doubleheader weekend with guests Dave Chanley and Michelle Garmon, sports editor of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, IndyCar fans, and welcome to the Central Indiana Sports Report. Today is July 14, 2025. It's a Monday. Sorry, a little late getting this on. Busy Sunday. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Producer Susie is in the control room. Coming up, we have our recap of Sunday's race in 10 minutes or less, followed by Elijah Poe's reaction to another Alex Palou win, Josef Newgarden's bad luck, and him somehow transforming into a giant baby, Andretti's horrible weekend, and impressive drives by Marcus Armstrong, Rasmussen, Foyt Racing, and Conor Daly. And Elijah and I were joined by guests Dave Chanley and Michelle Garmon of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader. Before we get to all of that, just want to let you know about our IndyCar coverage. Every week, Elijah Poe and I have our IndyCar report, typically midweek, and then we preview every race after qualifying, and then recap and react to each and every race on the schedule. You can probably expect this week's IndyCar report midweek, a Toronto preview Saturday evening, and of course the recap and reaction Sunday evening. Your IndyCar recap from the second race at Iowa begins now.
And the white flag is out on Alex Palou as he works his way around one more car running at the rear of the field, and he passes it with ease. Scott Dixon is giving chase, trying to close, but Scott's got to lift a little bit. Alex Palou comes off at turn number 4 for the final time. The Advance Auto Parts checkered flag flies, and Alex Palou goes to victory lane. He wins the farm to finish 275. Scott Dixon finishes second. Marcus Armstrong is third. David Malukas is fourth, and Pato Award completes the top 5.
That, of course, is the great Mark Janes of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network with the call of Alex Palou's 7th win in 12 races this season. He now has 18 career victories and 93 starts, and essentially wrapped up his 3rd straight national championship Sunday and his 4th in 5 years by beating teammate Scott Dixon by 528 thousandths of a second at Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa on Sunday. Palou addressed the Iowa crowd following the race.
Incredible, honestly. What an incredible weekend for us. Getting the pole, getting the win today, fighting and going through traffic. It's true that strategy helped us a little bit there, but it's awesome to get another win. Another 1-2 for the team, a win for the Honda, 1-2-3 for Honda. So pretty good, and yeah, cannot wait to do it again.
As always, timing is everything. There was that caution where Barry Wanzer urged you to push to keep Newgarden a lap down, and then just a couple laps difference with that last caution flag before you made the pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that it was going to be tough for us. We're struggling towards the end of the stints on tires compared to our competitors, and we knew that on track we're not going to be able to beat them. We're going to lose like probably 1 or 2 positions by staying out, but we thought it was the safest in terms of strategy, trying to get a yellow, and it finally came. So yeah, really proud of the work. Amazing pit stops and strategy once again by the number 10 car, and yeah, it's amazing.
And lastly, I mean, not only to have all these disciplines to win on in your career, but to do it all in one season. We're starting to run out of words to describe what you do and what this season's been like for you and Barry Wanzer and Chip Ganassi as Chip Ganassi comes in. And can you continue just to describe what this year's been like?
It's been incredible. It's been amazing. We cannot believe it. I have like no words to describe the amazing people that we have in the team and the opportunity they're giving me every single weekend. So yeah, I cannot wait to get to Toronto next weekend.
What was special about this victory was it was Palou's first on a short oval, just his second win on an oval ever, coming on the heels of his Indianapolis 500 triumph in May. Palou now leads the championship standings over second place Pato O'Ward by 129 points. He benefited from a couple of late yellow flags that really hurt Josef Newgarden, something I've never seen in 40 years of watching IndyCar racing. On the penultimate round of pit stops, he was one of the first to pit. Then the yellow flag came out, putting Newgarden a lap down. After the round of pit stops, he came out in 13th place, charged his way all the way back up to the front.
Alex Palou trying to hold off Newgarden. He'll look to the inside down the front straightaway. They go side by side into turn number one. They almost touch wheels. They might have it. In fact, as Alex Palou has to lift, that opens the door for David Malukas. So Palou drops from P1 to P3 at the exit in turn number two.
And then it happened again. This time on the final pit stop, he was in the pits, now a lap down when the caution came out again. This time he came out in 10th place, and there just wasn't enough time to recover. Just really bad luck for Josef Newgarden. He finished 10th after leading 72 laps and clearly having the best car in the field. But has been the case all season. Newgarden pouted and was short in his television interview and didn't speak with the radio crew again. His tantrums are getting harder and harder to defend. He did speak very briefly with Fox's Jack Harvey after the race.
Wow, we just got to keep doing what we are doing. Team Penske's working incredibly hard, the whole group. Yesterday was a good day for everybody. You could see the spirits lift, but they don't need to change what they're doing. They're doing a great job. They brought a fast car here again today.
And does that give you a lot of confidence heading into this next gaggle of races that you and your team, so many good things happening, maybe just waiting for something that perhaps is even out of your control just to fall into place?
Yeah, we just keep doing the same thing.
All right, thank you, Josef.
With his second place finish, Scott Dixon is now third in the standings, 171 points behind his Ganassi teammate. And here's Scott Dixon with the IMS Radio Network after the race.
We were extending the windows. We figured everybody else would too, so I think we had gained a couple of spots to that point just for people that had pitted. But huge congrats to Alex, obviously to CGR and Chip and everybody involved. 1-2 is always nice, and obviously another Kiwi, with Marcus on the podium is pretty sweet too. So yeah, almost got a win here at Iowa, but maybe another stint we would have been looking okay.
Like Dixon, fellow New Zealander Marcus Armstrong took advantage of a pit stop strategy and finished third. Armstrong's finish gave Honda a podium sweep. Malukas finished fourth. Saturday's winner Pato O'Ward was fifth, followed by Christian Lundgaard, Felix Rosenqvist, my pick to win the race, Christian Rasmussen, rookie Robert Schwartzman, and Newgarden. Penske's day got off to a horrible start again, and Scott McLaughlin was involved in an accident with Devlin DeFrancesco and Stingray Robb. Will Power finished 24th after his engine failed just 21 laps into the race.
Yeah, incredibly frustrating, especially on a day where you have a car that could win. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. It's just, it's funny how these things come at such inconvenient times, but it's not, everyone goes through it. It's just one of those things.
Some other finishes of note, rookie Jacob Abel from Louisville had his career best 11th place finish. Our guy Conor Daly was another who suffered bad luck, driving out front all day and finishing 16th, a spot ahead of his amazing race teammate Alexander Rossi. Here's Conor with IndyCar reporter Christopher DeHarde.
To be honest, it's literally just pure luck. I mean, it's just racing is annoying a lot of the times for me for some reason. I don't seem to ever be on the same strategy as Alex or Scott Dixon. Our car was good. We had a really, really big loose moment on that last stint, but we recovered from it okay. But there were other cars pitting behind us, so you kind of, the window was open. So it's really, it's just purely bad luck. I don't know how we lost that much time overall. We have to look at the pit stop times, stuff like that, but we know that you go 2 laps down here when you pit. It just happened to be the worst possibly timed yellow because Alex was like 2 cars in front of us.
It was an absolutely awful day for Andretti Racing, who had Kyle Kirkwood in 18th, Colton Herta in 20th, and Marcus Ericsson in 22nd. Kirkwood entered the weekend second in point standings and leaves in fourth. Chevrolet won its first race of the season on Saturday with Pato O'Ward's victory at Iowa. Please stay tuned for a reaction from Elijah Poe, Dave Chanley, and Michelle Garmon.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, IndyCar fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and our reaction to the second Iowa race on Sunday afternoon, one that Alex Palou won and essentially, and for all intents and purposes, won his fourth championship in 5 years, his second back-to-back championship. Alex Palou is that guy.
Well, if Alex Palou wasn't scary before today, I think IndyCar fans in the paddock is on notice because he has just won his first short oval race of his IndyCar career, and he's got the Infinity Gauntlet ready for the Avengers. He has got everything in IndyCar now, and it's all straight ahead for Alex Palou.
He's a phenom. He really is. He's just on top of his game. But I also give credit to Chip Ganassi Racing. I mean, you've got just a phenomenal team and the best driver. And yes, you are correct when you say, for all intents and purposes, the championship is over. He could probably go out and just finish 8th or 9th from every race on, and he'd still win.
I'm not sure if he finished last every race, he wouldn't still win.
That's what I was thinking today when I was watching him just lead lap after lap after lap. And I thought Andy was his first oval win, and that was good racing, but luck kind of played into it. He positioned himself well. But today, I mean, I know Newgarden took the lead from him a couple of times, but Palou just was really good. I mean, he was so focused. After making those two bobbles last week on the road course, I just felt like he was just really, really dialed in today. And Elijah talked about Saturday's race. Palou he just had a good weekend on these short ovals. And he is, you're right, Dave, he's a phenom. He's just dominant. There's no better driver in IndyCar right now and no better team than Chip Ganassi right now.
And Michelle brought up the big story of the day, which wasn't Alex Palou. We already knew he was going to win the championship. This was his 7th win in 12 races. We'll talk a little bit more about this, about the greatest seasons of all time coming up this week on.
After a brief technical difficulty
Today, but man, just like everybody said, it's just continued bad luck for Penske.
Now, say what you want about Josef Newgarden and his bad luck, and it was really bad, and it's been bad all season, but the way he's acting right now is really making me dislike him. He is just acting like a little baby. He's whining after every race. He won't talk to media. Oh, my poor feelings. Just grow up and be a man and talk to the media.
Yeah, he's pouting. He's pouting, and it's unbecoming. It's one of those things, I think, because he's had so much success, maybe he's gotten a little too full of himself and thinks he's entitled. But yeah, he's having a bad season. But you're right, man up and just say, yeah, I'm having a bad season. We'll go back to work, and congratulations to the others.
We're Penske, and we'll come back. Yeah, it's
exactly.
that easy.
It really is a shame too. He's one of the premier drivers in IndyCar, and for you to be turning away interviews or being really short and a little bit passive aggressive, it just comes off as wrong. You know, we know how good of a racing driver you are. Just own up to it and asking questions and answering them. I mean, that's just part of the job. Every single driver has to do it. It's what you sign up for. And he might be in the belief where, you know, he doesn't want to get into the media because they're saying negative things. But you're getting paid a lot of money.
Elijah, you can set the message if you talk to the media. And the message just needs to be, we're Penske, we'll be back, you'll see. That's it.
Exactly.
That is exactly
Show some
right.
class.
He's kind of finding out maybe a little bit. My favorite phrase is karma is a geek.
Yes. Yes.
his attitude afterwards, he's not doing himself any favors.
I'll tell you what, this is probably a really negative thing to say, but I never thought I'd see the day when Will Power looks really good compared to Newgarden on this, because Will is he'll talk to the media, and I know he gets upset, but he's classier than Newgarden is right now.
And it's not even close. I was thinking that earlier. Will Power has said all the right things. Hey, just not been our year. That's all you have to say.
Exactly.
Of course, Will Power's got a little bit of incentive too, because he doesn't have a contract for next year. So, showing class and being professional after bad luck races is probably a good thing for him to do.
Yeah, I think he's taking this year and almost I think he's really stepped into his leadership and veteran experience that he has with Team Penske. Just because you lost so many big leaders at that team, Power is probably one of the most tenured of that team, and he's really stepped into a role today and all through this season. He only ran 21 laps, but he's always more than willing to talk to anybody who asks him any question. And up until that mechanical issue as well, he was running really well. He was very, very fast.
He looked good all weekend, except for his mechanical issue today.
Newgarden was in a class of his own today, and I have never seen that. I've seen people get screwed by a pitting at the wrong time, but not twice in one race after coming from the back of the field to the front and then happening again. Insanely bad luck.
Unfortunately and fortunately, that's what makes oval racing so great. And how good do these oval cars look? And how good do these Indy cars look on an oval? They just look incredible. And every week, even though we only had 200 and something passes, it's down 1,300 from years past. I still think the product on track is great, and it really to see. Yeah, and it's a shame to see those stands so empty. It really is.
Believe how empty the stands were today. It is really sad because the oval racing, I think some of the ovals are a lot more exciting than some of the road courses they run. And
and this is probably their worst oval as far as spectator sport goes. And this was fantastic.
It was. I think the sad part was today. The only thing is, it looked like there was 1.5 grooves. They couldn't. Conor Daly is remarkable at going up high.
Unbelievable.
But everybody else just could go about 1.5. You had to kind of stay on the low side. That used to be at one point when they first went there. That was almost a 3-groove track.
NASCAR running there has completely ruined that race, including the fans, including the fan attendance.
It has. I agree.
It's funny you bring up NASCAR. I was on X today, and I was on Iowa Speedway's Twitter account or X account, and not a single post for IndyCar. Not a single post.
Wow.
And the marketing for this race was just absolutely miserable. I saw comments, people who live around the Speedway, not a billboard, not a commercial, it's not on radio. And for a series that is trying to build traction, it's just unexcusable.
That is inexcusable. There is no reason that you're not promoting that and everything. And especially, Dave, I think you might have, we're going to touch on this a minute ago. I thought, outside of Ganassi, it was kind of not. I mean, I thought this was a good weekend for McLaren racing. It was nice to see Meyer Shank racing back up and get a podium finish today.
Yes.
And Conor Daly didn't have good results, but man, was he up there all weekend.
He was there. I'm not sure what happened to him at the end there.
I think he may have been caught up by I think he may have been caught in the pits as well.
Okay. Hats off to Meyer Shank and Marcus Armstrong. Marcus Armstrong today proved he's a race driver.
Yeah, he's one that I would expect to be in a better seat in the next couple of years for sure.
Those are good points. And having Meyer Shank in 3rd and 7th here on this race, the second race at Iowa, they're having a great season, throughout. They're consistently in the top 10, and they've got a great driver lineup. Marcus Armstrong has looked timid sometime on ovals, but today he was really strong. It's the best I've seen him look on an oval for his IndyCar career, I would say.
Christian Rasmussen, he's a legit oval racer.
Yes, he's with the right team with that too.
Yes, he
because
is.
ECR is an oval racing team.
Christian Rasmussen has honestly really surprised me on these ovals this year. He's been so aggressive, and that's something you want to see. But he's also been really calculated with his moves. He doesn't really put himself in position where he's going to ruin a lot of people's day or even himself. And seeing him climb up yesterday and then climb up 9 spots today, really impressive stuff. Really impressive.
David Malukas had a good day again today.
I was going to say, for a while there, I thought Foyt was going to get their first win of the year. It looked like Malukas might be the class of the field for a while.
Again, he was caught up in the bad pit stop. Wrong time.
That's the only thing that is a little bit unfortunate about these short ovals. If you catch a caution, I mean, your race is pretty much done. Obviously, we saw with Newgarden, but he is in a league of his own. You got to take that sample pretty small. But seeing Malukas run up in these AJ Foyt cars, I think Santino finished in 15th, so not a super great day for him. But he started in 20th. And overall, just little by little, this Foyt team is continuing to build the steps, and I really hope that they're able to challenge for some race wins here as the season closes down.
Guys, going into that last restart, we saw the result, and producer Susie said, "I haven't heard Scott Dixon's name all day, and he's going to win this race, isn't he?"
All of a sudden, he's at the front. What the heck?
Every time. It's unreal.
Scott Dixon. The only thing you can say about Scott Dixon is Scott Dixon is Scott Dixon.
That's right. One of a
Just
kind.
He's one of a kind.
It's real rare if he's not in the challenging at the finish.
It was honestly crazy because you didn't hear his name all day until that final restart, and he's in second place. The way he does it, he's just so consistent, and that 9 crew as a whole is able to put him in great positions, and he always takes those positions and runs with them. And a second place today is great for him, coming off a win last weekend. Really in great form for Scott Dixon, and his age for sure is not showing. I don't know if it ever will.
He took the Rick Mears to the next level, is what he did.
Yes, that's well said. And let's say Pato had a really good weekend.
Yes, he did, although his championship hopes are done now.
No, but it's a race for second.
Yes.
And, this year, if you can say, I finished second in the championship, anybody says, well, who won? Well, Alex Palou. So second place, pretty darn good.
With the year Palou's having, I mean, this is a championship for second place. It arguably has been since he won 6 in a row to start the season.
Talk about a bad day. Andretti Racing had a horrible day today.
Horrible weekend.
Horrible
Had a
weekend.
bad weekend, yes.
Finished in 18th, 20th, and 22nd today. That is miserable. They didn't really have pace all weekend.
No.
But if your team is well rooted in this sport as Andretti is, there's no excuse for finishing that low. There just isn't.
No, and they used to win at that track.
Yeah, it really lacked pace on ovals for a while now. Obviously,
except for Indy. We talked about that
yesterday.
Indy. Yep.
Yeah, except for Indy. But man, I don't. Other than them crashing out or a few passes, they were just nowhere all weekend. It's a shame because they've got a great driver lineup.
They really
and you
do.
got to feel for Marcus Ericsson, who's having just a stinker of a season in that Andretti seat. It's just not gone well for them at all.
Kyle Kirkwood was in the lead there for a little while on strategy, and then he just was left in the dust. He had nothing for anybody.
No, you're correct.
I think it was also interesting, even before this race got off, Nolan Siegel not being cleared to race today, and then Arrow McLaren wasn't able to get anybody in that seat in time. You had Linus Lundqvist and other drivers at the track. I know it was also mentioned that Tony Kanaan could have ran in that car, but no running for the I think the issue was IndyCar requires a 15-minute install and warm up to make sure everything's great with the car and the driver. and McLaren just wasn't able to squeeze that in, and unfortunately, no running for the 6 today.
It would have been great to see TK.
It would.
Yeah.
TK probably would have been the one they would have gone with, just because since he's working with them, in there. He has probably the best knowledge of those cars and that setup for last minute fill in.
And having Lundgaard, he's ended up in 6th, charged all the way up from 22nd. I feel like McLaren is really finding their stride. Obviously had Pato win yesterday. Recently, they've looked really, really good pretty much everywhere the series goes. It's just an upward trend for this team. And having Tony Kanaan in leadership and other people leading the charge it's great to see them start to get super competitive here and maybe be another challenger to the Ganassi and Penske cars. I wouldn't say they're quite in that tier yet.
Not quite.
But man, they are definitely on the charge.
I'd like to see. I like these small racing teams having good days, but when you're talking about battling all year for championships and everything, I'd like for it to be more than just Ganassi and Penske. It'd be not, and I know, and sometimes it's Andretti. They're having a bad year, but so I think it'd be nice for Arrow McLaren. I think it would be good for them to become like that 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
And Elijah and I are going to talk about this later in the week. Again, anytime we do this, you're welcome to join us. We're going to talk about the greatest seasons in IndyCar history because we need to start having that conversation. Of course, AJ Foyt won 10 of 13 in 1964, including the 500. That'll probably never be topped. But my one question as we go is, will Alex Palou get to double figures this year?
Wow. Laguna Seca. And then we go to Portland. And then we've got Milwaukee Mile. And then we end up in Nashville.
I'd say all 3 of those road and street courses, he'd be the favorite.
Yeah. He's won. I'm pretty sure he's won Toronto, Laguna Seca, and Portland multiple times. So I wouldn't be surprised if he won the next 3. Obviously, Andretti's been really, really strong on street courses, so he's going to have to deal with Kyle Kirkwood as well. But I don't think. I think I would be more shocked if Alex Palou doesn't get to double-digit wins.
Wow.
I agree with you, Elijah. I really think so too, and especially now that he and his crew have found the secret to success on ovals.
Yeah, I think he gets one more. That's what I'm going to predict. One more. One of those 3.
I'm going to go with you on that one, Greg. He is so dominant, but yet he doesn't have to be. My gosh, he can.
Yeah, well, that's true.
He doesn't need. He's driving. Well, you mentioned it. He's so darn smart. He stays out of trouble. He is a master at staying away from trouble.
But this is still a great field. This is a great field, and it's going to be hard to win 3 more of the 5.
I agree. I agree with you. And especially, it was great to see Pato get a win. That helps the whole series.
Yes, it does.
Everybody loves Pato.
Yeah, they do. I would love to see Malukas get a win.
Yeah, he needs one.
Any AJ Foyt win would be huge.
It would.
Yes.
IndyCar didn't. I still wish that instead of 5 races they had left, that they had 8 to 10 more races.
I know. We talked about that this week too, Michelle. IndyCar really needs more races. It needs more ovals. It needs more races in particular before the Indy 500.
And I get they don't want to run into football season with Fox, but
all of February and March you could be running races.
Exactly. And the schedule was an absolute mess this year. Our fans had to wait 2-3 week gaps in the beginning of the season. It was just miserable.
Yep. If you're going to do that, just start in April. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it as always.
Oh, it's a blast. I really enjoy this. And it was just a fun race to watch.
Another great race. I think they're batting 1,000 this year. Well, minus thermal. Okay, except for
hey, Elijah, I think you may have been the one that made a comment yesterday. I do think Fox's coverage is getting a little bit better because they're doing a better job, or at least they did this weekend, of showing passes.
Yes, they have. They did a great job this weekend. I'm glad you mentioned that, Michelle. They did a fabulous job keeping us in touch of what was important on the track, something ABC never did.
Well, you got to look at it this way. Fox is a rookie. This is their rookie season also.
That's true.
Yep,
that's true. And I think, obviously, they've done NASCAR in the past. So I honestly think their bread and butter is these ovals. I bet the production team is just used to it. The people behind the scenes know what to do. And, the officiating crew, they had a few moments of some wrong mishaps, but when does that not happen this week?
Yeah.
But overall, just a great package that they're bringing to these ovals specifically.
Yeah. By far, Fox's best performance besides Indy this year. Sorry about a couple of technical difficulties there, but that was a lot of fun. Really love our IndyCar crew and look forward to talking with them after every single race. And of course, Elijah and I will have a show midweek every week, at least 45 weeks a year, and previews after qualifying at every race. Of course, we also have Pacers, Colts, Fever, IU, Purdue, Ball State, Butler coverage. So make sure you're tuning in every day to the Central Indiana Sports Report, because that's when we air every single day. Thanks so much for listening. Please spread the word about the Central Indiana Sports Report. If you're interested in us continuing to grow and thrive and bring you great podcasts like these. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.